Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your host, Dystro, and tonight's episode is another Shoot the Shit episode. This is the 38th episode of the series. Still going strong, as you can see here. Um, I am going to preface this as a wrestling kind of heavy kind of shoot the shit this time. Only because like there's a lot of stuff going around or going on during this time. It is Royal Rumble season, which is going into WrestleMania season and all that stuff. So I kind of want to go over some of the things that I am kind of looking forward to and all that stuff. Which I mean, I know you guys are probably sick of hearing it by now, but I like to talk about wrestling. It's my hobby, but I am going to start this shoot the shit off, with some kind of little somber note here. Um, so usually around this time, I try to save up my funds and all that stuff to go into New York. I usually do every year. This would be, if I go this year, this would be the fourth year in a row. I went in 2023 during hurricane season, which that was a no-no. Went 2024 during her birthday week, which was way, 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 way better. And I went during her birthday week last year, which was still, again, way better. Um, but this time around, she is expecting a kid. And daughter, the daughter's name is Madeline. And I'm going to be meeting the little munchkin for the first time after she is born. She kind of told me, like before they wanted to do the sex reveal, gender reveal, whatever you want to call it. And she was like, "Well, like I'm not gonna tell you because you gotta stay tuned to that." And I was like, "Okay." So then I think it was like a few days before that, she was like, "Oh yeah, like well, little Madeline's gonna be nice to see you or gonna be happy to see you." And then she was like, "Surprise," and I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, I was like, I kind of had my suspicions about that because rule one, or I guess hint number one was like she's always wanted a girl, and she was saying that if she had a girl, she wanted to name it Madeline. And I think she said if she wanted a boy, she said I think his name was supposed to be Elliot. I'm thinking, or Ryder. I think either one of those two would have been fine. Um, but I mean, she got her wish. She can overpower Casey in decisions and all that stuff. She's still got the pregnancy cravings and all that stuff, but she is nearing the end of her cycle, nearing the end of this pregnancy. She's got this month, February and March to go until she is good to go and can birth little Madeline into this world. So yeah, it'll be my first time ever seeing Madeline. Hopefully, it'll be a good first impression. And plus, I would be an uncle. Um, I think it's gonna be a shock to a lot of us because me, our good buddy Corey that we've had on the channel before, and our good buddy Ken's, I think we've had on the channel before as well. We're all going to be uncles, which is going to be kind of nuts. Because then she's going to be learning a whole bunch of shit from all three of us, which that's never really good when the three of us are together. Um, what I would say, I think her is going to be He's gonna be surrounded by good company and good family. Is also a trying time right now. For both Marissa and Casey right now. Kind of dealing with some family sickness in her dad. Kind of one of those things where it's like it's not up to me to say what's going on. But if you've followed her on Facebook and you've probably seen her Instagram and maybe her Snapchats every once in a while, um, there is a GoFundMe on her Facebook page. I highly suggest you go donate to that if you can. I'm not trying to, be like, yeah, go donate and all stuff, and um, just trying to, make my friend's life better. Hopefully, she can, or her dad should, can, live until, little Madeline is born. And she could be seen with her, 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 her grandpapa, which hopefully he will make it, hopefully. Because it would be cool to, you know, see him again, just to be like, hey, like, I'm glad you are still here, just kind of, just make him feel warm and welcome, which he's always done to me in the past, when I, had seen Marissa a few times. Um, it'd also be a good, I guess, full circle moment to meet Casey again, because, like, I had I had my suspicions about him many moons ago, but once I've gotten to know him a little bit more and got to see him in person and see how he treats Marissa and all that stuff, he's an actual stand-up guy and actually a really cool dude. And plus, I'm always glad to see Marissa smile and just be happy, and that's what I want for her. I know me, Corey, and Kens have had our suspicions about him before, probably too. But like if she's doing okay and he's right by us and all that stuff, like by all means, go be with that woman. I mean, he can't, she can't really get rid of him now. Um, but yeah, last year, I got to, see him more in person, um, and actually surprised them last year, which was kind of cool. Yeah, because it was kind of hard to like, I had to keep it secret. But I had to do my due diligence and kind of try to keep it secret for the whole time I was there and driving there and all that stuff. Hopefully this time I can try to replicate that. I don't really know how that'll be pulled off. Um, but like I'll just have to probably make up a story. It's like I don't want to do that, but I got to do that to surprise her again. Hopefully, if she doesn't watch this episode. Also, hi Marissa. Hopefully you're doing okay. Um, so the next topic I am going to be talking about is going to be probably wrestling related from here at this point. I'm going to be talking about EFET stuff, which is like, 2K25 stuff here. So my guy, Chris Chambers, has had uh, a few matches under his belt at this point, but one of them was or two of them was last year. Um, one of them was against TJ Owens, the Deathmatch Messiah, inside of a steel cage with weapons at Saturday Night Showdown last year. If you haven't watched that already, go watch it. It was a hell of a match, hell of a card. I fully endorse, like Death Wish wrestling and all that stuff, and we've have a really really stacked roster and a really cool creative mind behind it in TJ. And he's done the impossible this year, but we'll get to it in a little bit. But the match that I'm going to be talking about is from another promotion called Supreme Wrestling, which is currently run by Carnage. on Twitter. And if you haven't followed him already, go follow him. He's a really funny dude. He's a really cool guy. Um, he has the Live in London show coming up in just a few days, or 3 days, I should say, from this recording. I am going to be in a light tube death match against three other people that I have had no experience with before. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, but if with the credentials of the that steel cage match with TJ Owens shows anything, is that I have plunged myself into the deep end of deathmatch wrestling and all stuff, and came out on the other side with battle scars, with battle wounds, and all stuff. And it's like, you're not going to get unscathed from that. But my three opponents are as follows. We have Crazy Joe, who has just made his return to Deathmatch Wrestling, which he won the second annual Max Drayton Invitational Cup. In doing so, like he has put himself more into the spotlight, and and for the better too. Nucci, who is another deathmatch wrestler and a content creator in his own right, runs a cool wrestling brand. Go check them out as well. And we have a new, really relatively newcomer. It's Sydney LeRae, um, who is on the Havoc Pro Wrestling roster right now. And they are going to be facing an opponent which I can't remember at this point, at this current time, at Havoc Pro's Red Means Green, which is coming up in February. Um, and the match that I'm going to be in at Supremacy Wrestling is going to be lots of carnage, lots of, no pun intended, but lots of carnage, lots of blood, lots of light tubes being broken from the local Home Depot or whatever. Uh, I guess hardware store that's in London. I'm so sorry. Um, but like it would be my first time ever going into the UK as Chris Chambers, and I'm gonna be in for a hell of a fight. I know this par none, because if the match with TJ Owens at Saturday Night Showdown last year was something to write home about, it's like this is gonna be even more like dangerous and all stuff, and people can get hurt from that. But there will be a lot of light tubes being shattered. I know that for sure. The second show that's coming up is January 17th, which is EXW, coming up at episode 11, which I am part of at roster. I am facing Ellis Sky, the standard Ellis Sky, which is it's going to be a first time matchup for me and him, because we've never faced before, which is kind of interesting. Um, it's from what it was labeled, it was kind of like a technical kind of masterclass thing. But from what we've interacted with back and forth in our Twitter DMs, or not DMs, but messages and all that stuff, me and Ellis have had a little tit for tat, a little back and forth between both of us. So we've got both an axe to grind on this one. But I guess you'll just have to wait and see who comes out the victor on that one. So, but also go follow Self Made Hatred Productions on Twitter and YouTube. But the YouTube, I think, is under EXW, I think, at this point. And then, speaking of Death Wish, we have January 30th, which is my second match ever in Death Wish Wrestling. I am going to be going up against Roddy 13. I almost said Rodney 13. Roddy 13 in a qualifier matchup for the ladder match for the Underground Championship in Death Wish Wrestling. I'm gonna tell you from experience, I probably just need to kind of like focus on my opponent and kind of just focus on, the here and now, and kind of just focus on just trying to get the job done. Don't go for flashiness or anything. Just go for the win and just go for the W. But I think this is gonna be a hell of a matchup between me and Roddy. Another day, another dollar. You know what I'm saying? Um, but then February 13th into next month, should say, we have Havoc Pros. Red means green. We are going back to Ridgefield Park at the Mecca in New Jersey. There has been some matchups announced on that card. Go follow the Havoc Pro Twitter to follow up on that. And the main event is going to be Christy Redding versus Bubba Perkins for the World Championship. Which is going to be, no pun intended, it's going to be lots of carnage. It's going to be lots of high impact moves, I should say. And we're starting this year off right in the Havoc space with some killer ass shows, but I know at this point we've have had on the Twitter, on the Havoc Pros Twitter, I think should say, um, Shotgun Pro is going to be doing a Battle Bowl, but also the Jersey J Cup. I do not know at what point that Battle Bowl is going to be happening, but I am part of that Battle Bowl. I really don't know when, like I said, I don't know when that's going to be happening for sure. But rest assured, it will happen at some point. But that Jersey J Cup's coming up kind of soon. It's coming up next month. So stick tuned to the, or stay tuned, I should say. Stay tuned to the Havoc Pro and Shotgun Pro Twitters to follow up on all that and more. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Havoc Pro, EXW, Shotgun Pro, Death Wish, Supremacy Wrestling, etc., etc. Because they are working their asses off to create some killer ass shows for us as the consumer, but also as like the person that wants to take a break from real life wrestling. And some of the shows that we have put out within the last few months and all that stuff, we have put our heart and souls into it, make sure, you guys have fun as possible. And we could not thank you guys enough for, actually taking the time out of your day, to watch the shows and just be invested into it. I mean, I can't personally speak on any of the companies and all that stuff because I'm just one of the people that work there. But I just, from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you, the consumer and the person that has been watching the content. So we thank you. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about WrestleMania coming up. This one is going to be a 2-night event again. It's going to be in Vegas again. So, with that being said, we have the GCW Collective coming up. And the GCW Collective is going to be kind of interesting because there's a lot of shows from Dragon Gate, GCW. I would say there's one from New Japan coming up too. There's a show from Dragon Gate. There's a show from Hybrid Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Unplugged. There's a Progress Wrestling. There's the Mark Hitchcock Memorial Super Show that they always have every year. The Def Vegas International, which is the El Desperado New Japan show. NDK Fight Club. Gringo Locos, The World on Lucha, Bloodsport, Joey Janela Spring Break, as usual. Juggalo Championship Wrestling, which is in first. That's an interesting one. Effie's Big Gate Brunch, and then the Joey Janela Spring Break presents the Immortal Clusterfuck. And then WrestleMania themselves. I always look forward to the collective every year. Because it's like it gives me motivation just to watch the collective every year. Because I watched it last year. And they had a really good like plethora of promotions last year. They had TJPW, DDT Pro. They had GCW. They had Progress. They had the Mark Hitchcock Super Show. Like they had a lot of stuff last year. Um, going into WrestleMania last year, which was in Vegas. um, but I really don't watch like the Wednesday shows. I usually like try to watch the Thursday shows going into Friday and then Saturday and Sunday. Um, but then again, like the Saturday and Sunday shows are WrestleMania and stuff, and I really don't really care about WrestleMania sometimes. Um, it's not because of the product itself. It's just because of the like. I just don't really watch WWE that much anymore. I know like they'll have NXT beforehand, either on the Saturday before Mania or the Sunday before Mania. I think it's usually either or. Which I mean, I'm usually kind of hyped about that one. Um, but the MDK Fight Club one has got me intrigued. I know the Death Vegas Invitational has El Desperado and Jun Gatsai onto it, or signed onto it, I should say. Um, but other than that, like I'm looking forward to the AEW Dynasty show coming up in April. Um, I mean, but like other than that, I really have like no other like I guess qualms. I guess I should say like any other stakes than that. Um, but usually around like Royal Rumble season, Mania season, like Royal Rumble season is usually a good time to be a fan because it's like it gives you hype to go watch it and then be like, okay, well, who's gonna be going into this Rumble and like who's gonna be a surprise and all that stuff, and it's usually like a good it's usually a good time. Um, Speaking of the Royal Rumble, though, we do have Royal Rumble coming up at the end of the month. I know this for sure. Yeah, it's in Saudi Arabia this year. I really don't know how to feel about that. But I mean, it's good business on WWE's end with Saudi Arabia, so like it's like whatever, fucking ever. But going into that show, we do have Drew McIntyre as the WWE champion. Now, there has been speculation that Ilya Dragunov is going to win the his qualifying match, but then also win the Fatal 4-Way to go against Drew at the Royal Rumble. Now, Drew versus Ilya Dragunov sounds like a hardcore slugfest on paper. Not gonna lie there. But, as terms for the Royal Rumble winners for men's and women's, I really do not know. But I would say maybe if I wanted to do like a final four going into the winner thing, I would say for the men, I would say give me Cody Rhodes, Sami Zayn, Trick Willie, uh, and maybe a little dark horse pick here. Maybe give me a Javon Evans as the final four there. And plus, like, it's one of those things where it's like it's the new school versus old school. Like people that have been there for a little bit, and then they have the two NXT call ups coming up. Like, and also we have Obafemi coming up too. If you guys had saw NXT the other day or the last weekend or last week, I should say, uh, where he vacated the NXT title. Which that's kind of unprecedented, unprecedented. Um, uh, I mean, Cody, Sammy, Trick, and Javon Evans. Like that sounds like a good Final Four for the men's Royal Rumble. Um, for the women, though, I would say either Rhea, Jordan Grace. We don't know if Jade's going to be going into that show as champ or not. Which I mean, truth be told, she might not. Who knows? So I would say Rhea, Jordan Grace, Liv, and maybe a Lyra Valkyria. That'd be a good final four. As for the winner, though, I would say maybe Rhea. Rhea versus Jade sounds pretty cool on paper. And plus, like, you could just do a good story with that. Two of the tallest women in the freaking world. Like having like devastating finishers and all that stuff, and all that stuff. Like Rhea with the Riptide, Jade with Jaded. Whatever. Um, as the for the other matches on the show, I would say the WWE title is going to be on there. I don't know about the world title, like the WWE World Championship or not. Um, I'd say maybe the U.S. title is going to be on that show. I don't know about the Intercontinental or anything. Um, but it's like like at this point, it's kind of like a blur for predictions at this point. Um, well, going into the Royal Rumble too, is like I would say maybe a Randy Orton would be a solid winner pick too. But like I said, it's too early to speculate here. Because we haven't had any people announce their entries for the Royal Rumble at this time either. Um, but I kind of want to end on like a little funny kind of like not funny, haha, not note, but like something that I had saw on TikTok. Shout out to the I think Apron Bump podcast, I should say. Go follow them on TikTok. They had done a thing where it was the WWE champion versus the ROH champion or the TNA champion or whatever. So I thought maybe to do a WWE champion from 2002 going against the TNA champion from 2002. And I think I could be wrong. So, starting with 2002, it would be Brock Lesnar versus Ken Shamrock. Um, that match on paper, uh, kind of sounds exciting. Not gonna lie. Because it's two submission specialists, and I would say maybe they would have a submission match, I guess, if you want to call it that. So this next one is going to be kind of tricky because it's 2003, and the WWE Championship at that time in 2003 was held by both Eddie Guerrero and Kurt Angle, but the TNA champion in 2003 was AJ Styles. So maybe throw them into a triple threat. Let's just see what happens. Maybe. Who knows? I know in 2004 it was I would say no, it was it was Kurt Angle. It was Kurt Angle, I think. So no, I'm sorry. Eddie Guerrero defeated Kurt Angle in 2004. So Eddie was world champion, WWE champion in 2003. That's crazy. That's mind blowing to me. So in 2004, it's Eddie Guerrero versus Jeff Jarrett. Both men that kind of help perfect lying, cheating, and stealing. In some cases, it's like, with Jeff Jarrett's matches, it's lots of interference and all that shit. Um but I really don't know. Like I don't know how that would actually work out because it's like, Eddie is one of those people that's lying, cheating, and stealing. But then it's like it's Jeff Jarrett, so um I know 2005. Okay. So 2005, so that would have been John Cena versus Raven. Hmm. Like, okay. I I don't know how that would work out, to be honest with you, because I don't know how their mat. I don't know if their styles would clash or not. Because Cena's more kind of like Smash Mouth kind of style. I know going into 2006, like, yeah, I was about to say 2006 was John Cena as well. But John Cena versus Christian Cage, like, not gonna lie, that'd be actually kind of sick. Um, and plus it would be one of those things where it's like, it's Cena being unbeatable, uh, because, that's Super Cena getting shoved down our throats. Christian Cage in 2006, it's also the exact same kind of scenario because like he doesn't get pinned or submitted for 2 years. Um, that'd be kind of tricky to kind of pull off in that. 2007, John Cena versus Kurt Angle, kind of running it back a little bit. Because they've had a match, like a few matches in real life with that same scenario. Um, and plus in 2007, that's like Kirk Angle, like he doesn't give a fuck. um, okay, no. Um, let's see. Sometimes like when you try to look shit up, it's like oh yeah we have this and we have that. It's like no, it's like just give me the truth, goddammit. So going into 2008, it would be Samoa Joe, who's the TNA World Champion, going up against Triple H, who's the World or the WWE Champion. Um, that'd be kind of interesting. It'd be really really interesting. Um, and plus, I'm gonna be basing this off of like the beginning of the year, not like all the multiple freaking title reigns that's happened in between. So going into 2009, the start of the year, Trip or Edge versus I think that's AJ Kurt Angle. I don't really trust. I don't trust AI and all that shit anymore. So I'm just gonna just fucking I hate this. Okay. Yeah, so it was Kurt Angle. I'm sorry. Or no, it was actually Mick Foley. So it's Edge versus Mick Foley. So it's WrestleMania 22 all over again, just a few years removed. That'd be actually kind of interesting because Edge is just about to like 2 years removed from retiring, so he could still go at this point. Um, and Mick, like he's getting older, like whatever. Um, 2010, we've had RVD as the world champion going against. Let's see here. Going up against John Cena. Okay, so it's literally ECW One Night Stand all over again with Cena and RVD. That'd be actually kind of interesting to see how that plays out. Years removed from uh, ECW One Night Stand 2006. Going into 2011 is John Cena again versus Mr. Anderson. Mr. Anderson versus John Cena. That'd be actually kind of interesting. Um, given the fact, Cena and Kennedy wasn't really on either show at the time. Like, they weren't like they were like ships passing in the night sort of ordeal. Which I mean, that'd be kind of interesting. It'd be actually really interesting. Um, Going into 2012 now, we have Austin Aries, who's the TNA World Champion, and then we have Jesus Christ. So we have vacant for the WWE Championship, but I'm going to count CM Punk as the champion here because he held it from November 20th to 2011 till 2013, so I'm gonna count that as the title reign there. So CM Punk versus Austin Aries. Okay, that'd be kind of interesting actually. It'd be really, 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 really interesting. Speaking of 2013, Bully Ray versus The Rock. Yeah, good luck there. Um, let's see, 2014. That'd be kind of interesting, I should say. Daniel Bryan versus Eric Young. that means okay. So it literally means that they literally did the uh same storyline that they did with Daniel Bryan with Eric Young. They literally did just the exact same thing. It's literally the fucking exact same thing. It's that'd be kind of funny, interesting. Um, Going into 2015 now. So TNA 2015, Lashley is the world champion. Going into 2015 on WWE side is Rollins, Seth Rollins, Seth freaking Rollins. Um, hmm, that'd be kind of interesting because I mean we've seen that match play out in real life too. On Raw before. Uh, so going into 2016, EC3, which is 2016, going up against Triple H. Hmm. Kind of symbolic, I should say, symbolic. That'd be kind of interesting, to say the least. So 2017. Okay, so 2017 is John Cena going up against who's the TNA World Champion? Bobby Lashley. We love Bobby. So it would be Lashley and Cena. From I'm thinking that was like what Vengeance? I would say Vengeance because that was like '07 when they fought last. That'd be kind of interesting too. Um, so now going into 2018, we have Daniel Bryan, who is the WWE champion in 2018, going up against Austin Aries. Okay, that'd be actually kind of a fun match too. That'd be actually a fun match to see on pay per view, I should say. Um, Going into 2019 now, this is gonna be kind of interesting, and it'd be kind of interesting here. 2019 TNA World Champion is Brian Cage. Going into 2019 is Kofi Kingston. Yeah, I mean, it'd be actually an interesting matchup because it's big man versus kind of like little man sort of thing. Um, I would actually maybe want to see Brock Lesnar versus Brian Cage. Just saying, that'd be actually kind of interesting, more interesting. But I would say the Kofi Kingston versus Brian Cage match would be actually more like intriguing and interesting. Um, so going into 2020, during pandemic, Tessa Blanchard versus Drew McIntyre. I don't know if we want to count that as an entry, because 2020 was like kind of a weird era, few months for people. But it'd be Drew versus Tessa Blanchard. Um, so going into 2021, it'd be The Miz versus Kenny Omega. Truth be honest with you, Miz versus Omega, the promos would be actually kind of good. because it's be Don Callis actually speaking for Kenny Omega. But then you have Miz, who's like a very well seasoned veteran at the WWE at this point. So it'd be kind of interesting. Not gonna lie. Um, Going into 2022, it's Brock Lesnar versus Josh Alexander. Okay, that'd be actually kind of interesting too. Because they're both submission specialists too. That'd be actually kind of interesting. Okay. So, going into 2023 now. Uh, okay. 2023 it'd be Roman because he held the fucking title for like 2 fucking years. So it'd be Roman versus Steve Macklin. I mean, Steve. I mean, you're gonna have a hell of a fight against Roman, but Roman's gonna smoke you and pack you, bro. Going into 2024, it'd be Cody versus Moose, which I think they have faced before on the Indies. Which would be kind of full circle here. Um, and then going into 2025, it would be John Cena versus Joe Hendry. That'd be actually kind of interesting. And then going into this year, to the 2026, it'd be Frankie Kazarian versus Drew McIntyre. Okay. Truth be told, the WWE side of things, there was a lot of like champions that had held the titles for like multiple years at this point, but then there was like a lot of them. There were like lots of title changes and all that stuff. So I just went off of like the first of the month of the year, like, and I just went based off on that. Um, I will say the TNA side of things, like it kind of gave us some interesting matchups on that side. I mean, like the Austin Aries and Daniel Bryan thing. It'd be actually kind of interesting to see like where they have like gone as singles competitors because they've had similar careers in ROH. And kind of just being like you know I'm pretty sure they've probably faced at some point. But I don't know. They'd be actually kind of interesting because I wonder if like Austin would do the after he gets pinned, like would he just get up and just walk away and like just have a tiff like a bitch fit. Um, but I would think it would be an actual crazy matchup between Austin and Brian. The Joe Henry versus John Cena one, like, that'd be actually kind of funny. It's like if he did it during John Cena's like my last time is now tour, that'd be actually kind of cool. Um, Moose versus Cody, that'd be actually kind of interesting. Like, how is he gonna get the crossroads on a big man that size? Like Josh Alexander versus Brock Lesnar. Kenny Omega versus Kenny Omega versus it'd be the Miz. Yeah, that'd be actually kind of interesting too. Um, like during the pandemic and all that stuff, it's like it was kind of like one of those like dark time falls thing. And plus like Drew McIntyre versus Tesla, like it'd be an interesting matchup, but I know like one Claymore like would put her fucking ass away. Um, but yeah, that was actually kind of a little interesting little thing that I wanted to do because like I saw it on TikTok and I just wanted to do it. Not trying to steal their idea or anything, but it's like if you guys want me to do U.S. champion versus IC champion, just based on their stuff and all stuff, let me know in the comments down below. But that is the end of this shoot the shit episode 38. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as much as I did. Please make sure to follow us on all social media links in the description below, which will take you to our link tree page, which will take you to our Instagram page, Twitter page, The podcast Reddit page is on there. Uh, my gaming YouTube channel is on there. And tonight's song of the night, it is going to be a Blink 182 song. It is The Kids Aren't Alright. Or no, that's Offspring. What am I thinking? Blink 182, Stay Together for the Kids. It is one of those songs that's like carries a lot of emotional weight with it. But you know, a lot of these songs nowadays they will carry a lot of emotional weight with it. Um, but it's a really kick-ass song, and I really enjoy it. So, with that being said, thank you so much for listening and or watching. And I will see you this Thursday for another Reckless Paradise episode. Peace.